example of one of the other rooms. This would have been okay because it had a window that opened up to the balcony. Smaller shower, but probably quieter than what we got. C'est la vie, c'est la vie. Well, so as cute as this little place was, we get our hotel room right on kind of the main pedestrian area where there's two bars right in the corner, and it was so discouraging that we got an upgrade on the room, and so we have a balcony on the first level, which is just about on level with the street, and it was just so noisy, man. I didn't sleep well the last 2 days, and I'll tell you, you know, I so needed to sleep, and I know that the Spaniards start at 8 p.m. and they go till like 3 or 4 p.m. and fortunately they didn't do that, so it wasn't quite so treacherous. But bottom line, man, the wheels, we've been at this now for what, going on to 27 days, and it's getting tougher. Like, I can't imagine people staying in hostels after you've walked all day. What you really want is some peace and quiet, and then you're stuck in this communal environment without your own space. I'm telling you, it's even with our own space, it's a tough survival. So anyway, that's stories from the edge. They're not all sweet and fun and happy, and you hit the wall, man. You hit the wall. I needed a good night's sleep, and boy, I just didn't want to deal with the street noise. Here's our little town. Oh, and then let me get this on film. So Melissa sort of made a bit of a discovery, sort of more insight. So when she booked this place,
it's a wondering.
Well, there were only limited amount of places that were available.
We have met a handful of people, and we don't meet a lot of people on this thing. I mean, really, we really don't.
Well, you meet them, but you don't meet them.
But we're not like in this big social scene all the time. So a handful of people is a lot that have given up looking for places and have hired a company to do all of their booking, which is what I do. And
she's my booker.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
And it's pretty much taken up all of my free time whenever we've been doing this. It costs a couple that we met way back in probably the
day 12, 11, 12.
Yeah, something like that, day 10. They just about packed it in because they could not find accommodations. They hired a company for $5,000 to book all of their places until the end.
Which included the price of the accommodations.
Included the price of the accommodations, but that's probably about $2,000 of money that you paid somebody when you're thinking about $100 a night for a room. And I just had this epiphany this morning because it's hard. It's hard sometimes, and we've had to pivot sometimes, and sometimes we've had to take things that I wouldn't even consider. It just
because there was nothing else available. Yeah,
you're looking at, picking okay over, sufficient, or bad over worse, and the prices don't really make sense because sometimes you have a great thing for $50 and then sometimes you have a shitty thing for $80. And this morning I woke up and I thought, these companies, and I don't know this, I think what they do is they grab, or maybe they have relationships with a lot of these guest houses and places.
Like where they get a kickback,
yeah,
a percentage.
We're talking about private rooms. I'm not talking about bunk beds. I'm talking about private rooms like the way we've been doing this. And I think they probably grab all those and consolidated numbers and prices and have a relationship. And then whatever they don't sell, they dump them on the day. So if you got the guts, you got that kind of personality, you may be able to go town to town and grab those rooms that have been dumped. Again, I don't know this for sure, but it's my suspicion that this happens because some of these places we come to, I'm like, there are far more accommodations here. It doesn't make sense. It is not overrun with people. It's never been like that. And so I'm not, something's not calculating properly.
Well, we've seen it with the travel industry and other.
Yeah, like
they'll buy airline.
yeah,
they'll buy
yeah.
airline tickets. They'll buy hotel accommodations, and they'll get a discount
Yeah,
on
they'll have
them.
relationships with
These companies. They'll get a discount on the tickets, but then they can upcharge and sell them. But then when the day of or just before they know they can't sell them, then they dump them, and then you have these cheaper or these seats are available.
Or they just have empty rooms because maybe they've bought them and then it's worth it to them because they're charging a premium to these people that can't find accommodation. Because to me, that's what it seems like. These places do not seem full. I don't see it. The albergues do with all their bunk beds. They're full. So,
Yeah,
last town we were in, Ponferrada, I had such a hard time finding accommodations there, and I had to go onto another website. I had to WhatsApp every single place there, including there was a little hotel there. Well, some of them get back to you, some of them don't. Half of them are, bunk beds. I luckily snagged the last, private room in one of them. But I'm kind of wondering, when we got there, would that hotel have had an extra room there? I don't know. I don't know, because is that the hotel that has a relationship with these companies that book out rooms? Yeah, it's a funny system.
A lot of different ways to slice the mango, and you're not real clear about it because it's an industry, and it's an industry that's
I
evolved.
just know my person. I am never going to be okay with walking into one of these towns and not having. And I would rather be in a place that's sufficient. We've stayed in. For me, I mean, something I learned last night is what's okay to me is maybe not the same as what's okay to him on any given day. My kind of hard line is something needs to be clean.
Well,
I can deal with a little noise. I can deal with having to close windows. It's not that big of a deal to me. For him, he has to have a window open, and he doesn't want any noise going on out there.
Well, preferred.
And so that's tough,
Yeah.
Especially when you're kind of tired and all that stuff.
Yeah, and you're really needing good sleep. Well, like I don't recommend getting these balconies that look out. It's a cute idea that you're just over the pedestrian area and you're looking down, you're seeing the people, and you're kind of feeling like you're part of it.
Yeah, but see, my thought on that is that, doing this Camino, you come into the town, you really don't spend time connecting with this town because you're tired.
Yeah, it's true.
Long. So you go to your hotel, and if you're stuck in a room that's
kind of blows,
looking at a wall or looking at an inner courtyard where there's really nothing unless the courtyard is just this beautiful garden, which every once in a while that happens, maybe twice that's happened, you kind of want to feel like you're a part of what this little town is about. And so my thinking is like, oh well, there's let's have a view. But again, I don't find those things to be a problem, but the person you're with might. We've stayed in about 24 different places now, maybe a little more than that. And I'd say that, I counted them up last night, I think 18 of them, 18 have been, we've liked, where we walked away going, I really like that place. I would have stayed a second night because it was so good. That's 75%. So I say mission accomplished, but
yeah, I mean,
whatever.
that's a fair percentage.
Yeah, and
it's impossible.
three times I've snagged the only single or private room with private bathroom in albergues that we had to stay in because there was no other place. But
well,
I'm lazy and incompetent.
Well, at any rate, ma'am, 28. I think it's day 27 or 28. We're leaving Molinaseca. More stories from the Camino. So I did visit with our host a little bit, and he didn't have English, but I had enough Spanish that I could understand. And I asked him, man, what's up with the prices on the food? And he said, since the pandemic, they've gone up maybe 30%. And he went on to say that he said it's a result of the politicians. They're all fighting, and then the end result is prices of foods and goods go up. And he said building materials have gone up about 50%. And he said that the middle class is now much lower than they were before the pandemic, because the cost of goods, the poorer have gotten poorer. The country is more divided politically, which I thought was rather interesting. So it's almost a, I mean, I don't know the rest of Europe, but it does seem to be a bit of a worldwide phenomena. This two parties, two groups that are, it's almost like they pretense to war.
My stick. That's my stick.
250 kilometers to Santiago. Boy, it's going to be weird to be in the hundreds. Like less than 200. It'll be real weird to get to 100 kilometers, and then you know your experiences at the tail end. Yeah, it's just really beautiful countryside here. We're definitely out of the Meseta area. That said, it's a lot more effort in putting in your clicks because you're going up and you're going down. And unlike a bicycle, when you go up the hill with the bicycle, you get to sit as you go down the hill with the bike. But when you schlep it up with the hoof, you still got to use a fair bit of energy to get down the hill too, so not as easy. Very nice little valley. Campo. It's got a water source, a Romana, a Roman spigot of some sort. Boy, this is an old town. Ooh, quite cool. Now, this would have been a cuter town to spend the night in. Right there too. Put your backpack down. These are such bright red. The thing on the flowers of the Camino. I think it may be like ending my shot with the flower. We're about an hour 40 minutes or so in our hike. This is about the third small town. That looks like either a convent, monastery. I'll find out. Calle el Hospital. Maybe it's a hospital. It's cute. Oh boy. Well, let's get a coffee. This looks like the fun thing to paint. Yeah. Oh, they got it closed. That was
That's a cool picture.
what a cool castle, man.
Oh, here's the other church right here.
Oh. Boy, I wish to be. Oh, I mean, and look behind you.
Yeah, that's really good.
Like, what an environment. Boy. Oh man, this is a huge castle. Look. It keeps on going. Huh. I mean, there's a tourist office for... Oh, look at this castle. Holy smoke. This is a world. Oh man. This is like worth a photo here. Like this is a place to stay. I mean, it's just like a potpourri of visual. Oh man, here's even another nice. I guess this is his church.
So Raymond?
I mean, it's really peaceful. This town is quieter. Quite a cute town. A nice, chilled. There's lots of little I mean, it's just a beautiful setting. Boy, that's awful. Big little. That's your little castle. It's a real neat little city. Voila. And the church. It's a cool little. This is not your little Pop-Tart town. Ponferrada. Ponferrada. What a beautiful setting. We kind of spent our whole day, more or less, in this town. Oh, skirts of Ponferrada.
This little town
Santa
is
Maria
a
de Compostela.
Suburb called
Yeah.
Compostela.
Compostela? No, I think that's Santa Maria. Oh,
Yeah,
Santa Maria.
that's the name of this suburb.
Oh, like, huh? Wow. It's just a huge valley. Huge. Huh. Sparare. And get out of the heat.
I'm telling you, I looked at what was available for the night, and
There.
that didn't look like anything that was.
Oh, I'm gonna look over here to see if I got some cherries, Melissa. Here. I mean, and then you have this little church, like in the middle of nowhere, just outside of Ponferrada. Oh, and you got a pilgrim decided to make his own albergue.